So a very good evening and a warm welcome to the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. We are live and direct from Painesville, outside Monrovia, where we've come to speak with Liberians about the latest census results that were released by the Liberia Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services, LISGIS. The latest census results released by LISGIS puts Liberia's population at about 5.2 million people. As international partners express explicit confidence in the statistics, the Liberia Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services, LISGIS, says the new population of Liberia is put at about 2.5 million people. According to LISGIS, the results released on Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023 constitutes 97% of the total projected results. LISGIS Acting Director General Lawrence George stated that out of the 5.2 million people, 50.4% constitutes male, while 49.6% constitutes female. And so we here basically, folks, just to interact with the comments you see seated, they will speak to the latest LISGIS results released to Liberians. And so once again, welcome. This is Focus on Liberia Online Television Network. Theo Williams is my name. Today we're here in Painesville. It's our second time here at this intellectual forum. We are at the Kukatono Intellectual Forum in Painesville, specifically along the GSA Road. And Kukatono means we are one people. I'm sure it's a Pella war, right? Pella, yeah. And so wherever you are joining us, whatever you're doing, it is always my pleasure to say good evening from Monrovia and welcome to Focus on Liberia Online Television. So we'll talk to the guys one at a time. The first person will come up as we interact at the moment. And so invite a friend to come on, like I told you, because this discussion promises to be great. It promises to be interactive and, of course, entertaining. Let me take the very first gentleman who's just right before our camera. Good to have you. Welcome. My name is Theo Williams. What is yours?
Yes, my name is Tomajo Bertix.
All right. How are you today?
I'm okay.
I'm sure you followed the results released by LISGIS during the course of this week. What is your take?
Yes, I follow him. I agree with the international organization who said that this is okay.
All right.
And I'm satisfied with it. That's why Liberians can go on our election for peace. It's okay.
You think we are actually 5.2 million people as per the results released?
Yes, I agree.
Were you counted, as a matter of fact?
I will count it.
All right. Your entire household?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very kindly for speaking with us. Let's talk to the next person. Let's talk to the next gentleman who is just right before our camera. Good evening. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. What is the name, sir?
My name is John K. Dolo. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
John, latest census results released by LISGIS puts Liberia's population at about 5.2 million people. What is the take about that?
I think the numbers are not that sufficient enough. Looking at the span of number of years, Liberia has not had census. We believe that the number is too low. So, in my view, that number is not realistic. You cannot say that there are more males than females in Liberia. That is questionable. To be real, to be honest with you.
Why do you think it's questionable?
Well, we have noticed all the past. I'm a young man. I have dealt with many young people. And if you look at the ratios, so everywhere we have gone, there are more females than males in most of the activities. So it cannot be possible. Even you go to various hospitals, you go to various communities, you see that there are many females all around as compared to males.
So you disagree with that?
I disagree with that. And look at the number, we see that if you look at certain counties, for example, Grand Cru County, Grand Cru County have doubled. The report says that Grand Cru is in 2008. Grand Cru was about Grand Crew was about 57,913. Then in 2022, it has jumped up to 109,342. What are the economic activities in Grand Crew that anybody would want to leave from Monrovia? We have a very place to live in urban area, and you can move when you go to rural area where you don't have access to road, access to electricity, and all of those basic necessities. Okay. How can the number increase by more than 50%? So I think that it is not good.
All right. Thank you very kindly. Before you go, let me ask you quickly: were you counted?
No, for me, I wasn't counted, and my whole household was not counted.
Why?
I don't know. So that those are some of the reasons why I would believe that the number is not accurate. Because if I'm going to be counted, that number will not reach that number. Thank you.
All right, John. Thank you. Let's leave it at that. You're watching the US-based Focus on Liberia online television. Today, we've come to engage with Liberians as we talk about the latest census results released by the Liberia Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services. According to LISGIS, Liberia's new population is 5.2 million people. Do you agree, disagree? Do you think this result should be taken? Let's hear from this other gentleman who is just before our camera. It's a pleasure. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. What is your name, sir?
Thank you very much. My name is Brother Martin S. Busser.
All right, Martin, how are you today?
A resident of Painesville City. I'm okay.
All right. I'm sure you followed the news conference recently called by LISGIS. What's the take about the results released? So far, so good. 97% of the results are released to the public.
In the first place, I wasn't counted. Yeah, so I feel that was a disservice to me because at my residence, I went there, I asked, because I live in an environment where I don't spend the whole day at home, but I went to the house later. I asked other people to find out whether LISGIS have all come to do some enumeration process to our area, but the information was not confirmed. But I wasn't counted in the process, so my number being left out, plus other people that have confirmed that they wasn't counted, I think the number LISGIS gave us is far lower than the number of person living in the country.
You think we are more than
5.2
million people?
2 million. That's my opinion.
Why weren't you counted, if I may ask you?
Well, the reason may be best known to LISGIS because according to them, they were tracking people in transit. For me, I was in transit throughout.
Besides you, were any member of your household counted?
Maybe they were counted in Nima because Nima is where I have other, family members. For me, I don't live here. Yeah, so I can get information about people, the rest of my relatives that live in Nima.
Are there some recommendations you want to put forth as we take leave of you about the process?
Yeah, I would like to recommend to LISGIS, since they say this is a preliminary result that they are giving, they can also use the remaining 3% time that they had to do that correction to revisit all of those areas that they were not able to capture other people that were left out in the process, so they can give out the actual result of the census. Thank you very much.
Your name again?
Martin Busser.
Thank you, Martin. It was a pleasure having you on this network. And you're still watching the US-based Focus on Liberia online television. We're live and direct from Painesville, also Monrovia. Let me just run you through a few of the statistics I have in my possession, released by LISGIS. But let me talk to this gentleman who is just here waiting. Good evening, how are you? Thanks for joining us. What is your name, sir?
My name is Peter Kefumo.
Peter, how are you today?
I'm great.
Okay, good to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm sure you followed the news conference called by LISGIS some time ago this week. What do you make of the results so far?
Well, the result have been given by LISGIS and there are international partners that also work along with them.
All right.
So there are commotion all around the corridor, but the result, my own view on the result is that is where they came out and said that the population of, or the ratio of men higher than the ratio of women. And that we know that the world population should be around 8 billion. Even if you're looking at the population of men to that of women, the women high in number.
Is that why you have a disagreement?
So in Liberia, my disagreement have to do with men getting in higher number than women.
All right.
Yes, but the result have been given. We have to question the result. People are questioning the result, but as for one, I agree with the result that were given. That's just my disappointment with it.
All right. If you think the number of men and number of women in the country should not be the same, or men should not be more than women, what do you think? Why would anyone want to inflate or manipulate numbers?
We saw back in 2008, census conducted in a country where a few enumerator will go and sit in the corner and just write down in a figure.
All right.
And come and get a report. And that report also given that the population of the country was 4.5. That was not even exact to the country population. I believe the population was higher than that. And today, another number have been given. We have length of time in between from 2008 to now to say we are 2 million rather, sorry. I think it's not fair to us.
So you're judging from that?
Yes.
Past census?
Yes.
All right, your name again?
My name is Peter Fumo.
Are there some recommendations we could take from you?
My recommendation to government, they can do this, provide the same funding that they did to LISGIS, going all in the rural end to see how best they can be able to, because the statistics that were given, by that time you have to go ask people their living condition, what are you working. This time around it was not that way, but they are telling us that we have to follow the standard of the world, in terms of counting people in your country. So they brought new staff. So this new staff, many persons were not educated to it, so they have to go back. My recommendation to government have to go back and try to revamp or improve on their skill on doing this.
Thank you very kindly.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure having you on. Thank you very kindly. You're still watching Focus on Liberia online television. We're live from Painesville, outside Monrovia, specifically at the Kukatanon Intellectual Center. As a matter of fact, this is our second time here at this forum where Liberians will converge on a daily basis to crisscross on issues of national concern. Today we put in a spotlight on the recent or latest results released by the Liberia Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services. According to LISGIS, Liberia's population has grown to 5.2 million people. And interestingly, all of the international partners at the occasion expressed explicit confidence in the statistics. What is your take? Let's hear from this brother. How are you? Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening again. How are you?
I'm okay. What is the name, sir?
I'm Geda Francis.
Francis, I'm sure you followed the results released. According to LISGIS, they've released 97% of the preliminary results as per the census. What is your take?
Well, thank you very much for coming, at least to understand from the people themselves. My take is that in the first place, I was not counted as an individual.
You were not counted?
I was never counted. And even my household was never counted. I live in Jakarta. Yeah, my household never counted. I went home, my children, nobody met them. My wife, nobody interviewed them. So, from that
Your doors were always open?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Even though children go to school, I go to work, my wife go to work. But people there, at least, after school, children come home. Even my wife come home. There's a schedule. But my whole household was never counted, really.
So you don't think we have 5.2 million people as per the results released by LISGIS?
Well, I don't want to say we are not or we are providing, but to be very frank, I was never counted. So how they got their figures, they know. But I was never counted.
What's the thing about the results? Are you confident with it?
Yeah, I'm not really. I'm not. Either they underestimated our population or they overstated the population. So I'm not confident with the result.
Okay, before you go quickly, let me ask you about this. What do you also make of the recent armed robbery at the home of former Chief Justice Councilor Gora Mususka? What do you think?
It's very appalling. Very appalling situation. There is really security. I mean, set up backset that we can't understand really. We don't expect this again in our country. That continued armed robbery attacking, especially prominent citizens like that. Somebody who served as former Chief Justice, somebody who served as senator, to stay be armed robbed and have complained several times to the national police. No move make at all until she was today armed robbed. Not just armed robbed and somebody killed in an instant. So very appalling.
All right, thank you. It was a pleasure having you on. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you.
Well, this is Focus on Liberia Online Television Network. We are sampling the views of Liberians as per the latest results released by LISGIS. LISGIS is the Liberia Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services. Quite recently, LISGIS told us that the latest census results puts Liberia's population at about 5.2 million people, as international partners express explicit confidence in the statistics. According to LISGIS, the results released on Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023 constitutes 97% of the total projected results. What is your take? Good evening, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for coming to Liberia.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing very great.
I'm sure you followed the release from LISGIS
Yes,
on Wednesday. What is your take? What do you make of the results?
The result has been released by LISGIS, and it's what we have now as a working tool as a nation. But again, it's been marred by too many controversies, and I think we have to speak those issues. We believe that there were too many irregularities during the conduct of the entire census. So we think that within such a result, I don't think it's something that is going to help this nation, because censuses are conducted to help have a roadmap on developmental progress of a particular country. So if you have several irregularities within a particular census result, I think it's either degenerates the progress of the nation or it has some other effect on it that it's not good.
You talked about irregularities. You care to just point out a few of those irregularities you as a person observed?
Yeah, one of those irregularities is the issue of not being able to conduct a census in every terrain, in every nook and corner of this country. That's what I believe, because there are several areas where we communicate with people from, and they inform us that census officials did not go there to have them counted. So they are part of this country. If I conduct the census for Liberia and for Liberians, we believe that those people should be counted once they are Liberians. If some of those people were left out, it means that they were not part of this process. So it's one of the irregularities we're talking about. Another irregularity could be the issue of people going to the field and not doing their work properly. That's one of the things. We witnessed some census officials who sat in various public areas in the community, at cocoa shops, and are in the level 4 discussing issues that did not pertain them, and they have data that did not represent the work they did. That was some of the irregularity we're talking about. So believe that those things, until they are be able to be tackled, the census results cannot be considered as one that is legitimate for this country as for now.
Okay, according to LISGIS Acting Executive Director Lawrence George, the 5.2 million people, 50.4% constitutes male, while 49.6% constitutes female. What is your take on that as well? Do you agree or disagree?
I'm not a statistician to say that the result for that figure or the percentage of.
Do you think there are more men than women?
In my opinion, there are more women than men.
All right.
That's an opinion. It's not a fact. It's not
what is the yardstick for that opinion?
The yardstick is what we see around us. The yardstick we are using. You want to see around in our rural communities, in our rural home, and other things. I live in a family where we have more females than males. I have several relatives who also have more females than males in the family. So if you telling me that there are more females in Liberia than females, then I tend to doubt such statistics. But I'm not a statistician. It's my opinion on the body.
Okay, quickly, let's talk about the recent armed robbery attack on the home of former Chief Justice Gloria Scott. What is your take on that as well as we leave you?
Is something that is alarming, is a serious security threat to the nation, because it does not only affect the former Chief Justice, it affects every Liberian, because such a state woman needs protection. She needs state protection.
All right.
If she cannot be protected, I think it alarms that everyone is not protected in this country. So the national government, to see it as something that is very germane, it has to be investigated, because we just listened yesterday on the Soul platform that the former commissioner of TRC, Council of Jerome Vedia, had a starting revelation where he revealed that the act was carried out by Murder Samuel Koji, and I think it's a grave allegation that needs to be investigated. And when investigated, I think something needs to be done about it, because these kind of allegations have come up before and not have been done. Sometimes we have investigation, there is nothing come out of investigation. So when these are investigated, we seriously need to be informed as the results of the outcome of the investigation. So if we investigate situation without having an outcome in the public, I think is that the best way to proceed.
Okay, your name again?
I'm Rufus Olabo.
Thank you, Rufus. It was a pleasure having you on this network. Thank you very kindly. Well, you're still watching Focus on Liberia Online Television Network. It's been a wonderful time briefly interacting with the comrades here. Well, we'll do this again some other day when we shall have returned to this forum. Perhaps we're going to look at other interesting developments in our country and other issues as well. And so it's been a wonderful time. But just before I leave you folks, let me just run you through some of the results that were released to the public by LISGIS, the Liberia Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services. But as you may know, the population, as per the results released quite recently, shows that the population is at about 5.2 million people. And our partners, international partner that is, have expressed explicit confidence as per the results released by the Liberia Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services. By the way, 79% of the results were released to the public, so meaning we are left with 3% of it to conclude, and then the final results will be pronounced or released to the public in the soonest possible time. But Grand Crew in 2008 had a population of 57,919, and in 2022 it jumped. Currently, the population of Grand Crew is 51,000. That's 109,342. River G initially had 66,789. Currently it's 124.653, and Grand Jide 125,258. Currently it's 216,692. Montserrado County jumped. Bombay County, Sino, Margibi, Grand Kibon are all counties that have increased in the population as per the results released quite recently by LISGIS. And so we just thought it was to come out here today to sample the views of Liberians regarding that. Like I told you, we'll find some time again to be here to talk about other issues, or perhaps tomorrow or the day after we will talk about the recent attack on the home of former Chief Justice Councillor Gloria Scott. And so it's been a wonderful time engaging with you, the audience, or with the comrades here at this center. For and on behalf of the team, I'd love to say thanks to the head of operations of Focus on Liberia, Anthony here, who is in the US, Minnesota specifically, Our CEO is Dennis Jha. He's also in the U.S., Atlanta, Georgia. And so, on behalf of the team, my name is Theo Williams, bidding you farewell from the Pocatello Intellectual Forum here in Painesville, GSO Road. Have a great day.